What's up, all my fight fans? So we got some shots being fired left and right. We got Islam Makhachev saying that Charles Oliveira was pressured into fighting him. That in fact, Charles Oliveira did not want to fight Islam. That Islam was not the next on Charles Oliveira's radar. That Charles Oliveira actually said he wanted Islam to fight one more time and then he will fight him for the title. Charles Oliveira was actually looking for a Nate Diaz or a Conor McGregor fight. Islam Makhachev sounds like he did not take too lightly to that. Said that he wants to fight guys that have not won in over 5 years and such, quote unquote. And then you got Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is Islam's trainer, saying that he believes Charles Oliveira is feeling the pressure. Guys, I just do not see that personally. I do not see that. I do feel that Islam is definitely trying to hype himself up and talk himself into this fight, because personally, I do see Charles Oliveira, and you know what? Let me back this up. Islam comes out, he's the favorite over Charles Oliveira. And it's just like, man, in the beginning, I have to admit, I was doubting him a little bit. When he faced Michael Chandler, I was like, oh man, Chandler should get this. Dustin Poirier, yeah, I think Dustin has the edge. Justin Gaethje, perhaps. And each and every time, he just proved that he was just that much better. And everybody keeps underestimating because they remember of what his career was like before his resurgence, of him being this great fighter that he is now. I think even against Tony Ferguson, I'm not sure if he was honestly the favorite. I would have to look into that. But nonetheless, you got Islam talking about, Charles Oliveira like that. You got Khabib, Islam's trainer, talking. And I really feel like these guys quite possibly might be underestimating Charles Oliveira. Because Charles Oliveira is a very dangerous fighter. Very dangerous. He is just shown time after time after time. And, all due respect to Islam, Islam is a really, really good fighter. I can't even say great yet, because it's just his lack of opponents. Really, it is. You could train with some of the highest level fighters out there. It don't necessarily matter. AKA has some of the legendary fighters, legendary champions. You had DC, Cain Velasquez, Luke Rockhold, obviously Khabib Nurmagomedov. There was even Josh Koscheck, Josh Thompson, John Fitch. The list goes on and on and on about AKA. Definitely, probably the best MMA training camp out there, my personal opinion. But nonetheless, sometimes it still doesn't mean anything just because you train with these guys. DC at one point did lose multiple times. Luke Rockhold definitely wasn't quite the same. He got to that top of the level, but still. So it doesn't mean just because you train with these guys, and just because you work with these guys, and just because you are dominant in the gym with these guys, doesn't mean it's still going to go into the cage. That's why I say really good. Because we still haven't really seen Islam be as good as we like to feel he could be. I'm sure we all believe that he has that potential of actually being a really, really good fighter, like his predecessor, Khabib Nurmagomedov. But unfortunately, it is no way you can not look at it like this, but it is his opponents. His two recent opponents was Dan Hooker and Bobby Green, who are not on anybody's top 10 list really within the lightweights. I'm sure they are on there, but if you put those guys against anybody else, I honestly could not see these guys holding their own to anybody even in the top 5, or maybe somewhere up there in the top 10, quite possibly. I'm not 100% sure. And this is not saying Islam was trying to duck anybody. 100% no. No. He was scheduled to face Beneil Dariush. He was scheduled to face Rafael Dos Anjos multiple times and such, and those fell through, and nobody has really stepped up to fight him because he is a very dangerous fighter. He doesn't have a big star status, and he's very dangerous. A very bad combo to have. You have basically a lot to lose and not a whole lot to gain with Islam. But now, with him facing Charles Oliveira and possibly becoming champion, we may just see those matches. But nonetheless, that's where we're at right now. But with Charles Oliveira has actually stepped in the octagon with the likes of a Michael Chandler, a Dustin Poirier, a Justin Gaethje, and these guys ain't just popular names. I know what some people are saying. These guys are popular names. No, they're popular names for a reason, because they climbed their way to the top and they gave us really good shows and they shown us really good fights. Justin Gaethje is a very, very tough fighter, very tough fighter. And then Dustin Poirier, same thing. Michael Chandler, same thing. And if everybody knows correctly, Charles Oliveira actually beat Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier faster than Khabib did. If you're really looking at it like that, Charles Oliveira actually beat them faster. And that's to me, what's like mind-blowing, that he is an underdog. And then we got to also remember that Charles Oliveira has been in there with higher caliber fighters, has had longer fighting experience, meaning like he's been in there with 3-round, 5-round fights, and he's been in there with even guys that he's lost to. He lost to Anthony Pettis, another great fighter at one point. Max Holloway, who can deny him? He's lost to some really good fighters as well. I think even Cowboy Cerrone at one point. A lot of this was at featherweight, I do believe, and his upcoming to lightweight. But ever since then, the guys just look like a beast. And so for these guys to constantly say he's feeling the pressure, I'm sorry, I cannot see that even being possible. I know that they did not like him wanting to face Conor or Nate for the title or whatever, but I honestly can't blame him. He went for that vacant title against Michael Chandler. He won. He gave a shot to Dustin Poirier. He won. Gave another shot to Justin Gaethje. He won. So, hey, the guy has earned a right to make some money. It's not like he's just went straight for a money fight right after he won that title fight. No, he gave it to the rightful number one contender 2 times in a row. And he has a right to say what he said about Islam, about him should getting one more fight, because it is true. Personally, I really thought that was going to be the case as well. I thought we were going to get him against Beneil, that they were going to reschedule that fight. And it didn't happen, and they just gave it to Islam. And it turns out like that they were pressuring Charles to make this fight because there were talks about giving it Michael Chandler. We don't know if that's 100% true, but nonetheless, we got this fight. And I'm very excited for it. October 22nd can't come fast enough, because I know there's a lot on this fight. I've honestly heard a lot of the podcasters. I've heard DC. I've heard Josh Thompson, who are, friends and training partners with Islam. And then, of course, we hear about everybody who supports Charles Oliveira. I mean, it really feels like this split of even Patty the Batty just did an interview not that long ago, a couple days ago, even said Charles Oliveira might win. I mean, we got the UFC superstars constantly, like, this is literally a 50-50 fight. This is really a real 50-50 fight. We want to see what's going to happen on the ground. What happens if Islam cannot take him down? And what happens if he does take him down? Because remember, we got Charles Oliveira, who has great hands and has a great ground game. We know Islam has his good wrestling. We know he has his good takedown defense, and we know he has that good ass submissions. His last his last few victories were submissions within, I can't quite remember, but I know they were both in the first round, and I know they were very early. Very early. So yeah, I am literally lost for words at this moment, because I just don't know what else to say, but can't wait for October 22nd. But tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think that they are underestimating Charles Oliveira? Do you guys think that Charles Oliveira was pressured into fighting Islam Makhachev? Do you guys think that maybe Charles Oliveira is actually feeling the pressure like Khabib said. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.